One of my favourite things about Sorare's Best of Europe competition over the next few weeks is even if you're a random football fan coming across this for the very first time, or you're a Sorare manager that's been around the block once or twice, knows a thing or two about a thing or two, there really is not anything to be lost from playing it. It's a free to play game, free to enter. You don't need to have any cards involved. But with the amount of market credits that are going into this competition, there is literally hundreds of pounds getting paid out, and there's lots of prizes to be won all the way down the leaderboard for playing with free cards. And that money can then be taken and go and buy real Sorare Pro cards, which can be bought and sold on the market, that can then enhance that squad further to go and try and win even more cash in the coming game weeks as well. But not just for the cash it can win on the actual leaderboard, but in terms of some of the in-game dynamics as well as the strategy that's involved in playing this competition. Like I said, no matter how big your gallery is, or if you're just starting out for the first time, this is a game mode, this is a competition that I think every Sorare player, or any football fan really that comes across this, should be playing every weekend, every game week it's open. In the video today, I'm going to be breaking down what the competition is, the strategies that I'm going with, and some of the unique kind of parts in this game. Or well, unique for now. Let's just see. Sorare have got a good track record of testing out different game mode options and special events, and then maybe rolling them out across the game. So there might be some things in here that might foreshadow some developments that we see just generally across the platform. At any point in the video, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you are brand new to Sorare and you haven't even opened up your account yet, this video will help you understand the basics of the game and is a great landing spot for anyone just starting out. By clicking on the link that's in the description of this video, you'll get $50, pounds, euros, whatever your currency is, of market credit after you've bought 5 limiteds off the instant buy or the auctions. They can be as little as 50p, they could cost £100. It really just depends on what cards you want to go and buy to get that credit unlocked. The Sorare sign up bonus is always changing, and it's kind of always getting better. Sometimes that credit is available as soon as you sign up. There's different things that are going on with it, so watch out for the T's and C's on that one. But no matter what the sign up bonus is, the link in this video will be locked and loaded with the best thing available. If you do get stuck, or if you've got any questions, jump into the comment section, of course, and I'll come and sort you out. And yeah, let's just get stuck straight into this one. And probably the best place to start with this one is what there is to win. Now, like I've already mentioned, it's free to play, free to enter. You don't need any cards to get involved. And it pays out from the top 500 positions, $5 in market credit. And the market credit won in this competition can 100% be spent to buy any card you want off of auctions or instant buy, no two ways about it. And the score tally here is at 428 with a full team that didn't cost any money. Full Real Madrid stack. Talk about not really doing much thinking about this one. Captain and Jude Bellingham, and he's come in really good. The goalkeeper is obviously held him back here. In the top 100, this guy had 455 points. Again, a totally free team, and he put a little bit more thought into his. He went for a Man United kind of core here, but he went with Jan Sommer in goals and Rafinha up front. Turbo424, who's a friend of the channel, he broke into the top 50, and in this competition you can play a maximum of 1 limited card. So by buying 1 card, you can boost one player up by 20%, but that is the limit, that is the maximum. And again, he's put a bit more thought into it. He's got that base Real Madrid stack, and then he's added in Pedri here, and Pedri absolutely was a top pick, bringing in 100 points, and with the bonus, a wee bit of XP on the card as well, 130 or 97 he brought in. So very, very good for him. And at 50th position, he's picking up $25. You know, so it's kind of just basically a wee bit more than doubling every time. Sorare Canary, he's a friend of the channel. He got into the top 20 positions. I think he finished 11th actually. And he got $30, pounds, euros, whatever of market credit. And again, some similar names and faces. He's added a card in as well. But yours truly, I was just quite close. I could have won this one. We weren't too far away from it. I finished in 7th. I had a Kasper Schmeichel in my team. And I put a lot of thought into my team. And I really tried to spread the risk on, you know, like the Real, you've seen a lot of people going with Real Madrid and Man United, picking 3 or 4 players from the one team. I tried to maybe diversify from that and just pick some different players, some differentials. But the guy that won the top team, the top position, had a guy from Lazio. And he's won $500 of credit on this one, picking Yamal, Bellingham, Pedri, Sommer. He's absolutely jackpotted out here, hasn't he? Football Master FC, a well-titled club, I would call him. And for this Best of Europe competition, the jackpot is quite, or the prize pot is probably the better way of putting it, is a cool $20,000, and it's going to get split evenly between everyone that can break 400 points. In the last Best of Europe, there was 2,202 managers that hit that target. which is $9.08 each, which is, you know, quite a fun little prize pool for everyone to get involved in. Considering on the leaderboard, you would normally have had to got 450 points-ish, 420, 450 to be in amongst that kind of position on the leaderboard, so it's quite an open one, which is good to see. So it does vary in terms of what it actually does pay out game week to game week, but the format stays the same. At the weekend, it's the top 5 leagues across European football, and for European nights, of course, it's the Champions League and all the rest of it. All the players score between 0 and 100. Big things like decisive actions, goals, assists, winning a penalty, last man tackle. Positive decisive actions make the biggest difference to the score, but there's also hundreds of other statistics, in-game actions that players make that contribute to their score as well. I've got a full video on the scoring matrix and how the game operates. That'll be linked in the description of this video in the new to Sorare Start Here playlist if you want to check that out. Now for the best of Europe, we do have a late deadline on that, so everyone will know the team sheets, so we'll be able to see everyone that's playing. So if you think about that guy that finished top with the Lazio player, you know, like if you've got a hunch like that and you just need to see that the guy's starting, you know, you don't really need to go out there and get big smashers. But generally for the best of Europe one, the way it works now is a roll and lock situation where, or a late swap position, I think is what you call it, where all of these players have got a little pencil icon over them, and until their game kicks off, you can swap them out at any time, and this kind of offers a nice little extra crease into the detail of the strategy that you select, because as my game week was going on, Bruno Fernandes was the last one to play, and I had no doubt he was going to start and all the rest of it, but had he not started, it was like the last game of the game week, and I would have been pretty screwed for trying to find an alternative perhaps. So it was, it does offer a nice kind of safety net in that sense, that if you are going out on a hunch, if you do add a limited card, and if you were to buy a limited card to bring it in, you do have that option of having that safety net of making sure within your power, within your grasp, you can change your lineup up until the last minute essentially in individual spots. Now once the game kicks off, they're locked in for better or for worse, you know, but if you can see that last minute call off, guy gets injured in the warm up, that sort of thing, then you don't need to die on your sword in this mode, which I find a lot of fun as well. Now I play this game mode quite a lot because on the Zero to Hero series on the channel, all I do is focus on what beginners are up to, and if you are playing this on an absolute extreme budget of only playing with cards that are less than $10, less than £10, that kind of thing. So I'm quite used to selecting these players, minimising risk, and I quite often do get into the top percentages, and I'm quite confident while this game mode operates like this, I'll continue to do this kind of level, hopefully, being amongst it every other couple of game weeks. Now I'm quite an optimistic person, so maybe I'm over egging it here, but I seriously do think, looking at the rate of success we've got in this, the sort of teams that we've seen that were full common as well, for example, if you did put a lot of time, effort, not even a lot, but if you just focused on this competition as one of your, if you're a brand new player, the only thing you're playing with until you learn the game. But if you are a player that has many cards already, is like a side strategy or whatever, because it's very, very good for scouting across the game week. You know, I'm looking at the weekend that we're coming into at point of recording, and off the back of that success, I'm quite buoyed to go out and try again. Now, I've not got many limited cards, so I went out for this game week and I bought an Andy Robertson limited to kind of enhance this. And for me, there's a nice little kind of strategy thing on the go here as well, because I think the defence category is quite open. And I thought, well, if I was to get a defender that I fancy as the good fixture of the game week, has good scoring potential, but it's quite an open field, the defender, if I was to get that as a limited, that might be the little elixir, that might be the X factor, kind of like the Schmeichel was there. I probably had the highest scoring goalkeeper if you look back to those Courtois scores and whatever else we got. So that might be the little differential kick, because there's some players that you just expect will have good scores, have good fixtures, good teams, and all the rest of it. They're quite predictable. But the fun little strategy element for me certainly is just like picking up Andy Robertson for £2.30. This cost me. So again, if we finish in the top 500, it's not a bad transaction, is it? And if we do any better, then obviously yippee-ki-yay, fantastic. I'll give away this Andy Robertson to one of you guys in the comment section that's got to this stage of the video to hear that I'm doing that. What I want to hear from you in the comment section is, if you buy a limited to make one of these teams work, let me know who you buy, how much you spent on them, and ultimately you can go back and edit your comment, come back after the game week and let me know how you got on. The comment sections on these videos are always great for receipts of saying like, I called it, or I picked this guy, because we always do lots of scouting videos. The comment sections are always great for them as well. And like I said earlier, generally we're looking at $200 as being the top spot, but 100% of this market credit can be added in, or 100% of it can be spent on buying another card. So I'm picking up $40 this game week. Now I've went ahead at a time and bought that Robertson for £2 because I wanted to, but coming into this game week I could have had £40 to spend 100% on cards, And, you know, I would have a good pick of the litter here. There's some really fun cards here under the £40 range that would make a big difference. It would go into that team. And another element again that comes into this, if you're a beginner, like if you're a beginner number one, if you fancy someone is like looks quite cheap compared to everyone else of that level, you know, I think once you buy these cards with market credits, there's a bit of a cooldown. You can't instantly like buy them and then list them on the market. I think it's a 2-week cooldown. But if you can get a guy that can hold value well or even increase in value over that time, maybe someone that's coming back from injury, makes a good transfer, could be a number of things, then you can quite quickly profit from coming in as a beginner, playing with the commons, getting an Andy Robertson for £2 if you need to. Schmeichel was like a £40 card, to be honest with you, so that goalkeeper was maybe a little bit more expensive as the example. But as you can see, there's many a good card that costs quite nominal values here. And like you see, like the guy that won it with the Lazio defender, like being smart can sometimes be better than having a big budget, essentially. But for me, I'm not looking to play this as a brand new player, as a limited, you know, coming out from commons to limiteds and all the rest of it. But what I'm playing this as is a very active rare player that is looking to add in more and more cards to kind of buff up the main strategies that I've got going on here. And with this game week, like normally if I wasn't playing that game mode, I still won something. We still got like $25 or something like that, I think. $30 from the Rafinha team, but now in this game week I'm picking up the $30 plus that $40 market credit, so that really does come in together very nicely for me. That's a really nice win all of a sudden. And when I go live on Friday night, when I've got these rewards coming in, we're probably going to do a little bit of shopping live on stream, which is always good fun. Now for you guys, it might be going and enhancing your team, it might be buying, like if you're playing with limiteds and you ended up having that double effect, for example, if you're in rare like me as well and you come in with that kind of double effect, it can just help you like get that card that you've always been kind of putting off, or it's like, oh, it's just a wee bit too expensive. You know, that market credit coming your way can just be a great access point into some cards. And with some of the changes that are going to be coming up with Sorare, like we normally get market credits anyway in boxes, and they're smaller volume, smaller percentage of the transaction that they cover generally, of course, but Sorare is shaking up boxes and market credits and all the rest of it. So I do think that this, for the remainder of the season, it will be running the way it is, as far as I'm led to believe at this stage, obviously subject to change at all times, but for as long as it is running this way, I'm treating this as my way of getting market credits. And I don't mind spending £2 on an Andy Robertson that maybe I'll use it once or twice. We'll also be giving it away to somebody in the comment section here, but depending on when we draw it, maybe it gets a game or two for us. But in any case, £2 limiteds, because they can be classic as well, which is fantastic. They don't need to be the in-season ones, but when you do get your market credits, when you do get your wins from this, it'll be in-season cards you're buying. And if you can get a couple of wee wins together and then buy a few, like we've seen on this market, if you're a new player, a budget player, looking to change maybe into a new region or something like that, like I said earlier, really no matter who you are, if you're a random football fan starting out in this game, or no matter what you're doing on Sorare, like if you have the ability to maybe just, not randomly, right, because it's a very competitive leaderboard, but because of the amount of options you have, like you really need to be lean on your picks. And then if you can get a really good kicker card in, like some really good guys here, like £10, no problem, you know, so you don't need to spend big to hit big, you know, no two ways about it. I can't wait to see what Sorare go on to do for things like the Champions League semi-finals and the final and everything like that. But looking at the pro competitions that they've got open for the Champion Nights, which is like the same kind of thing as the best of Europe, but this is for Champions League, and this is for like full limited teams, full rare teams, that sort of thing. The prize place pot here is pretty chunky, it's really good. And the good thing about when you get into these competitions, because you need to own cards, like at rare there's only 172 entries at the moment. These will go up quite significantly between now and the deadline, but limited already has 1100 in it. And if we look at the best of Europe, the free to play one, it's it's actually not got that many, you know, right now. But as you've seen in the other one, one of the ones we've looked at, it's like 40,000, 30, 40, 50,000 is the kind of numbers we see enter this competition. So if you can get cards, you can just play against less people and potentially go for more money. But again, just hitting 400 points, if you can pick any player in any position for European across European football on the last game of the Champions League group stages, all the team sheets will be out. Me and Harry Trades will be live for it here on the channel, so be sure to check that out, of course. And all you need to do together, you get a captain as well. That'll give you an extra 50-point multiplier, is get to 400 points. And the way it's probably going to shake out is you'll get roughly, based on last time's scores, about $9. Now, maybe not that many people hit the 400. Maybe some people take some risks. Maybe someone has an absolute mare on the pitch, you know, error led to goal, red card, own goal. so many things can kill so many players potentially, and so many different different strategies. So just because it happened once, necessarily in a good way perhaps, doesn't mean it'll happen again. And do you know a thing or two about a thing or two? Can you get a sniff of, oh, that team is going to get humped tonight, or this team really need the win? You can really see them throwing the kitchen sink at it and hitting the back of the net, not just like huffing and puffing and not going anywhere, whatever it might be. So it's going to be really exciting into the Champions League, and it just makes watching the games come in just a little bit sweeter for me. Like I said earlier, if you're a random football fan, if you're a Sorare manager that's been around the block once or twice, again, it's a game mode that everyone has the same lineups for, basically has the same potential for teaming, and it's a level playing field. And that's one of the things in Sorare that I think we're often looking for, to really like play with together. Like, we've all got the same options, we've all got the same cards to play with in some way, and we're still playing for something halfway meaningful, and in this case 100% off market credits meaningful. So yeah, I'm looking forward to spending the market credits that are coming my way, and I'm looking forward to getting some more over the next couple of game weeks as well. I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. On screen now some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more content like this. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one.